5 games under $5. My goodness, 5 games under $5. I'm gonna go through my spiel again. 5 games under $5 is a long-standing indie game showcase I do here, and basically I play through 5 games that are all under $5 and kind of just give like a first 45 minutes to an hour impression on them, feel about them, sort of like a mini review. You know, I imagine, you know, of course you can't completely review a game like, you know, without playing the entire game for sure, but I think it's worth it to know kind of like what you're getting into and an initial impression of a game. So our first game is Downwell. Downwell is just an awesome little roguelike game where you fall down a hole endlessly, basically, and get perks and upgrades. It's really fast, it's really furious, it has very fluid animation and good chiptune music. It's not an easy game at all, but it is cool. You get to unlock a lot of palettes, you get to unlock different kinds of spelunkers or characters that all have different attributes. There's shops, there's all kinds of stuff. Downwell is wonderful and beautiful. I've had it for several years now on PlayStation, so this is the only game that wasn't on Switch, technically, because I already had it on PlayStation, so that's how we played it here. But yeah, Downwell's a cool little game. I really dig it. I think it's like pretty it's pretty awesome. I'm definitely enjoying my time with it. I've put a lot of hours into this game over the years. I've never beaten it or unlocked everything, so there's still lots more to get and lots more to do. But that's cool. That's our first game. That's Downwell. Our next game is F-Zero 99. If you don't already know about F-Zero 99, you really should. It's like a love letter to the original F-Zero game on Super Nintendo. I'm definitely a big fan of it. I think it brings F-Zero up to a new level. It's very similar to the old game, but has some new perks and features, and of course 99 other players with you. I'm just putting the trailers on. We're not having any music going on with the trailers or any audio. We're just kind of enjoying the trailers as we listen to some show music and talk about these games. I like this game a lot. It's F-Zero on Super Nintendo, but it has a couple differences. Like, for instance, now you can spin like you could in F-Zero X on N64, and you can play with a ton of people, and the more boosts you get the chance to actually kind of boost over the track on another track and get past a ton of people as a reward for getting a lot of coins, which replenish over time. It's a really tough game because you have to manage your boost as your powers. So, like, if you use all your boost up, you then have no health. It's very much like a gamble. You really have to strategize and think about exactly when is the right time to boost and when is to just hold on and keep driving and use your boost later after you get your health back, essentially. So I like this game. It's not rocket science. It's not anything super crazy or involved, but it is difficult. And if you like racing games, especially old school 16-bit Mode 7 racing games, I would definitely suggest this. If you already have NSO, it's free. It's free. Go get it. If you have NSO, you have this game. Just go play it. Why not? You know? Let me, yeah. So, yeah, F-Zero 99, I can't say enough good things about it. It's a free game. It's going to cost you nothing to play. Just give it a shot. Check it out. Why not? Especially if you like old racing games. No obligation whatsoever. Now, what else we got? We got, the next game is Goodnight Nights. Goodnight Night is currently, how much? $1.99? Is that how much it was? $1.99 for this game. This is a very interesting top-down Zelda-like roguelike kind of game that has sort of quasi-Soulsy combat. Definitely not easy, and it's one of those games where it has like real-time lighting, so when you're walking around the corridors, you can't literally see what's on the other side of the corridor, even though you can physically see the map, because you're looking at a top-down perspective. You can't actually see a visible enemy there until your character comes into a line of sight with that enemy. And I think that might turn off some people, It definitely makes it hard, and the dungeons are procedurally generated, so it's a little bit different every time. But as long as you make it up to a certain level and sort of open the elevator room, you can resume at that point anytime. I like this game. I like that it has stealth. I like that it has parries. It has some pretty advanced combat stuff for a game of this type with these graphics. Usually that stuff is reserved for 3D games. I mean, hell, even Tears of the Kingdom has a parry and stealth and stuff like that. So to see this game have that with these epic bosses and good animation and great music, I think it's a really cool game. I think this game is worth your time. If you like top-down games, if you like roguelike games, if you like Zelda at all, you probably should pick up this game. Good Night Night is very cheap, and lots of clever dialogue, lots of tongue-in-cheek stuff. They did a really good job with this. I was thoroughly engaged. Very cool game. All right, our fourth game of the night is called Stilstand. Stilstand is not as much of a game as it is more of like a visual novel or a interactive comic, but it tells the story of a girl in Copenhagen who's kind of like dealing with depression and anxiety and sort of like watching the world sort of crumble and watching, her feelings kind of fall down around her and trying to sort of understand what she's going through and dealing with her emotions and figuring out shit. We didn't get very far because I didn't want to spoil it, but basically you're like depressed in your apartment, you're checking your social media, everybody seems like they're having a great time, you get invited to a party, you go to the party, and things start to happen, and it gets a little weird, and you get a little kind of lost in your head and in your mind, and you also get drunk. It's not a very long game. It's not a super involved game, but it's made by a single person as far as I can tell. It's got great art that looks all hand-drawn and pen-drawn, which is some of my favorite. I love pen. And really, I think Stilstand is just one of those games that, unlike so many other video games that focus on escape and sort of fantasy, this game focuses more on like real feelings and sort of coming to grips with and dealing with our depression and our anxiety by facing it head on. I think games like this are important because, it's not just about having fun and escaping. We also have to kind of like deal with life. And I think games that directly address things like that, I think are good. They're good for the soul. They're good for gamers. They're good for the gaming industry. We need more games to tell stories like this, even if they're just small little 40-minute games, even if they're just, tiny experiences. We need more games that actually address what's going on in our real minds and our real emotions. Not enough games do that. So I like this game. I think it's cool. It probably isn't very long. I know it's not that long, and I would like to finish it at some point, maybe on stream. But yeah, I would say if you want something a little different and you like story games or point-and-click games, I think Stilstand is pretty cool. I think it's worth it. All right, and well, we're already here. Superepic is a Metroidvania game that is extremely, extremely like satirical. It's got a ton of social commentary, and it's all about taking down sort of a greedy video game empire that has decided to only make games that are, very money grabby, very vapid, very shallow. And we all know games like that. I think some of us out there have grown to enjoy games like that, or maybe even prefer games like that. A lot of people like Genshin Impact. A lot of people like Pokemon Go. A lot of people like games that are sort of like these brief little experiences with a lot of sort of like, now you have to pay, now you have to do this, now you have to do that to like get further in it. I think, however, a lot of classic gamers that grew up playing Atari, Nintendo, and Sega, we're kind of a little tired of that shit. We've gone through a whole, several generations of games that went from kind of giving you the whole game, for the most part, not all games, not every franchise, but most games back in the day kind of gave you the whole game. And a lot of newer games kind of like don't give you the whole game. They sort of, they kind of pull your leg. They kind of, you know, kind of entice you and bait you into it and give you like a drip feed of content. And this game is directly addressing that sort of phenomenon that's been happening in games, let's say in the past decade more often. It wasn't that there were never games like that before, but it's definitely gotten out of control now. This game has a lot of great style, great art, great music, some really fun combat, and I like that you literally go into sections in this game and it has like a QR code which sends you to a website that literally literally has you playing mini games on your phone that then turn around and give you money or codes or information for this game that you're playing on your console. I really like that sort of augmented reality meta shit going on. Very, very cool. I think it's an interesting way to do it. And again, this game is $2. I mean, you can't really go wrong. If you like Metroidvanias and good animation, this game is something you definitely want to check out. Yeah. So, oh, they had a little bit more at the end. Yep. So, as always, this has been 5 Games Under $5. My name is gaymerherb. I do this once a month, and basically we have a gigantic list of over 350 games that I've already played and reviewed in the past. This is just another 5 games to that list, 5 of which I have not really gotten into before. I played Downwell before, and I played F-Zero 99 before, but none of these games have been on the 5 Games Under $5. And since there's over 350 games in there, all I can say is I'm still finding games now that are cheap, that I don't know about, that I haven't played yet, that I'm like, oh, well, I should go back and finish some of these games on 5 Games Under $5. But no, I actually don't have to, because there's so many games on sale now that it seems to just never end. I keep finding games on sale to showcase for y'all once a month. So please enjoy these games. I hope y'all enjoyed 5 Games Under $5. There will be another one next month. This video that I just got finished talking in right this second, that I'm ending right now, will be on YouTube along with other videos that I put up. We did a Dreamcast stream recently where I played through 10 games for the 24th anniversary. That's on YouTube. We've had various clips and highlights from Fight Nights every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, there's always more to play. I hope everybody enjoyed this section. I hope you enjoyed checking out some interesting games and starting out some demos for me. And of course, the music from Gran Turismo.